Hello, my friend. We are here exploring how we tap in to the infinite intelligence. How do we actually tap in into God, to source, the divine? How do we actually do that? Look, the rain is settling here. It's a good question. How do we tap in? But tapping in implies there's somewhere that we plug into, like a hose to a fire hydrant. And it just doesn't work that way. It's not a hose to a fire hydrant. It's a letting go. It's a surrender. So we'll keep going here. I have some notes. So first, let's try to approximate what the infinite is. Like, where is it? Because as soon as we try to pinpoint the infinite, it becomes a fallacy, right? So we're doing our best with our finite 3D mentality. So it's the awareness behind your eyes. It's the awareness that sits way back. As you push your awareness back, you find the ego, your sense of self. But even that is still within your awareness. You know who you are, at least what you think of, at least who you think you are. That is the ego, your sense of identity. That exists within your awareness. But then you keep going more back. And anything that you find deep behind your eyes is still within your awareness. And it's still a construct, a thought, whatever it may be. But then you get to a point where you reach a boundary. What is this awareness? And as soon as you find it, it eludes you. It goes away. It's impossible to put your finger on it. It's impossible to tap into it because it's all awareness. And as soon as we try to label it and define it like we are right now, it becomes finite. So me even trying to explain it to you is impossible for you to fully understand. My words are simply a signpost telling you it's that way. It's that way. And when you find it, you are gonna know. When you find it, you will understand, not intellectually, but you're gonna understand spiritually. The infinite. We are infinite beings because that is who we are. Way behind everything that we think, that we imagine, that is living within awareness is awareness. What sees everything, the observer, the infinite observer of all things, that is within you. It couldn't be any other way. And you know when you tap in. And this is how you do it. We're gonna get practical here. How do you actually tap into source? The first thing is we have to silence our minds. For us to be able to experience the source of everything, God, the infinite, we have to quiet our minds. We have to learn to sit in silence. Do you ever have thoughts when you're in the shower? This is probably the most common way. Where you're just so relaxed in the shower and boom, an idea comes. Where does that idea come from? It's the subconscious mind, right? It's the subconscious mind or the superconscious mind that's tapped in to something that we're completely unaware of, but it's there. Because it happened. It's something that maybe you've been dealing with, a problem, something that you've been wrestling with, and all of a sudden the solution comes. Not when you're actively thinking about it, when things are sitting within your awareness consciously, but it's when you're not consciously actually thinking about it. That, my friend, you tapped into infinite intelligence. And we can do it more and more on repeat. The more we learn to quiet our minds and relax, the more that we learn to sit in boredom, in when we start to let our noise inside our heads start to simmer and simmer and simmer. And so how do we do this? There's a few methods. Number one, meditation. Meditation is fundamentally the best practice you can do for your mental health, but also to tap in to the infinite intelligence, to tap into God. Meditation allows you to train your mind to observe everything. Just like clouds in the sky, you can observe your thoughts pass by without grasping. Because as soon as we try to grasp to the infinite, it becomes finite. So the more that we can sit back and observe, slowly but surely your awareness, you slowly become one with the infinite. As your awareness steps back behind your eyes and you keep going back and back and back, you find your ego, who you are. You start seeing things more clearly, and before you know it, you become one with this awareness. The space inside your head expands, and if you've experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. Where it's simply being, consciousness. Just you no longer exists. You're right. Your sense of identity. It's simply pure awareness, and it's one of the most magical things you can ever experience. Meditation. So there's different ways to get yourself into a meditative state faster. My favorite is breathwork. Breathwork, in a certain way, puts you into a meditative state faster. So there is what's called heart coherence breathing. Heart coherence breathing is when you time your inhales and your exhales equally. You can start with 5 seconds. This is the most common way. It's called heart coherence breathing. And it's the perfect breath. 5 seconds out, 5 seconds in. Do this for 10 minutes. You will feel a different level of relaxation, more in your heart. As you expand this practice, then you go to 10 seconds. 10 seconds inhale, 10 seconds exhale. You can go more. You can go 20, 30 seconds. So 1 breath per minute. That's where I'm at right now. I can do about 10 minutes, really struggling. 1 breath per minute. 30 seconds in, 30 seconds out. That means 10 breaths in 10 minutes. When you're done, it puts you in this state where your head just seems to drop. Your brain just seems to just sit a little bit lower. And you're closer to your heart. Meditation, breath work, and lastly, and the most important, is prayer. Prayer is how you connect. Prayer is how you surrender. When you speak to God, you say, God, I want your wisdom. Give me wisdom. You are the all-powerful, almighty, the Omega, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning, the end, the all-knowing, omnipotent, all-loving God. I surrender, God. You surrendering to God, which is everything. God is in this tree. God is within us. God is everywhere. When you realize that God is the full expanse, it's impossible to grasp to God, because as soon as you grasp, God becomes a fallacy. It's about fully opening up and having full faith that everything, that the path that you're on is the exact path you're supposed to be on. And when you continuously practice that, you tap into something much bigger than you. Your worldly desires, where the ego is tugged towards, fear goes away, and you find courage. Because you can find courage when you tap in to the source of love. And you'll know this whenever you start making decisions out of love versus out of fear. You don't rationalize your decisions as much. You feel them. This feels right to me. You don't look at what other people are doing. You find security because you are tapped in. You're fully surrendered to the path that's been laid out before you. And you are no longer acting out of your own worldly desires, but you are acting out of faith. You're acting that this plan right here is the plan that was made for you. And you're no longer asking about free will. Fuck free will. You are surrendering. Holy shit, there's a big ass wasp right here. You are surrendering to the plan that God has for you. Just tell me what to do, God. You're the source of everything. That's how you tap in, my friend. Leave in the comments below any thoughts. I want to know your thoughts and what you believe in. And we're going to keep riffing. All right? Much love. Have a great day. Love you. Mwah.